Hello, welcome to the 14th lecture. So the thing that you see in the screen is basically the most important part of the Kore's framework. I always use a contextual vector, contextual hierarchy, contextual structure, and contextual connection. When it comes to semantics, everything that you see, they are always about actually the context. So basically, the first thing that I do is taking the search query terms. Then from these queries, I generate these questions. Then I give questions a kind of order, which means actually I prioritize them. Then I create a kind of hierarchy for these questions. Then I create a kind of structure. Basically here I explain you how you should be answering these questions, in what format, whether you should be using a table or list. If you use a table, I will be even giving you the row count, the column count, and the column names and the column order. I will be giving you the sentence that you will need to be using before the list, after the list. I will need to even give you actually the image design that you will need to be using and the image alt tag, how many statistics or what kinds of researches that you should be putting there. And this is not just for the informational content. For e-commerce too, we are using the same thing in our case study repository. If you check the articles and the videos, you will see that there are really good amount of actually e-commerce cases as well. Just according to the main context, we just change the format of these things. And when it comes to the contextual connection, these are the internal links and anchor tags that we are using. In my methodology, in my topical authority methodology, I always use the most important anchor tags in the root. So, as I say before, in my methods, always there is a root, there is a seed, and there is the node. So the thing that you just see in this part actually, it is a root article. Basically, it will be connected to the most important thing, and the most important things, they will be connected back to here. And according to the connections, we have different types of internal link prioritizations. For instance, if you look at here, you will realize that first we link to the actual Europe, because all the country-related root articles, they will be linking to Europe. Then from Europe, the Europe section will be linking back to the older countries. And this is where actually, after me at least, the specific project a little bit implemented things differently, because they have broken this structure. If you examine it, it will be better. Most of the time, if the structure is wrong, I use these type of colors. The red color in the contextual connection, it might signal two things. One is, I put here the internal link, but this article brief is not ready yet, or the article is not written yet. Basically, it actually makes the SEO to remember to insert the internal link here by providing a contextual bridge between these two nodes, or it is skipped for now at least. And there are other types of colors that we will be talking about that too. So inside the contextual vector, the first heading is connected to the last heading with a proper type of order. And if you look at to the bottom part, you will see that we actually have way much more internal links and the anchor tags. In my methods, I don't use that much boilerplate internal links. Most of the time, I put internal links to the main content so that they can actually have heavier weight inside for the crawlers, and also page rank flow, and also the relevance attribution. So when it comes to these supplementary links, as you see most of the time, the heading hierarchy here is like H4, H3, or H5, or again the H3. Which means that according to the order and according to the heading hierarchy, we directly actually change the weight of the link there. And there are many things here for me to explain. So right now I am just giving a kind of general explanation. And in the future lectures, we will explain all these 4 or 5 different columns one by one. For instance, how we filter the queries, and how we parse these queries, how we generate questions, and then how we determine this structure and how we order the internal links. This is the most important part. Once you get it, the next step is just training the author and making them write these things, and you will get good amount of recordings in the future lectures for all these things. So you are finishing the fundamentals and the starting. Good job. See you in the next lecture.